SQR Podcast, SQR Rosenberg. Tonight's podcast is epic. The Honorable Andre Sayegh is my guest tonight. The current mayor, Paterson, New Jersey. It is an honor and a privilege to have you here, my friend. Thank you. SQR Podcast, SQR Rosenberg. The Honorable Andre Sayegh.
Thank you, SQR Rosenberg. I'm honored to be here.
Wow, what's so funny? The Honorable is honored to be here. Right off the bat, it's classic. Stay tuned. SQR Podcast, SQR Rosenberg. We're going to dig into the mayor's life story. Why you want to be a mayor? And what are his plans for the current movement with Paterson right now? Stay tuned. SQR Podcast, SQR Rosenberg. The Honorable Andre Sayegh up next. One. It's going to be bananas. I hope you're ready for this. I just hope you're ready for this.
I should have had my vitamins.
Bong. SQR Podcast, SQR Rosenberg. It is another epic night here in the studio. We're located in Paterson, New Jersey. And sitting across from me is the Honorable Andre Sayegh, my guest tonight on SQR Podcast. However, Andre, let me get that right. What's so funny is it's rare that I get to say honorable before anybody's name. So I'm going to make sure at every opportunity I jump at that. So let me pull this back. So the Honorable Andre Sayegh. Welcome to the SQR Podcast.
Thank you.
The way I normally ring in the show is I big up everybody that's here because your energy, their energy is why we have this so epic and unique experience. So let me calm myself down, rewind this, and start again. SQR Podcast, we're in the house tonight. I want to take this moment to big up every single person here. Big shout out to everybody that's here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to specify a couple people today. Big shout out to our Senior Director, Charles. Thank you so much, sir, for being on point, making sure everything's bueno. Big shout out to Manny, our Senior Editor on the floor. Thank you so much for being here. Very integral part of the team. What you see on YouTube, he's instrumental for making that happen. As we dive through the entire crew, because it's a collaborative effort, I want to take a big moment to give a big shout out to my band leader, A.T. Jones. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. Bong, bong, bong. Navigating, Dan on the sound, Incognito. Thank you so much, sir, for the effort that you're bringing. And as I dial through the entire crew, you know, the new addition to the team makes this thing so massive. Big shout out to Hector Soto, head of the social media. Thank you so much, Hector, for bringing the whole crew. I got War on the graphics and the screen printing that we're making something epic for you tonight, by the way. Thank you so much, War, for being here. Bing, bing, bing. No, it's going to be classic tonight. And as we navigate everybody that's here, the Peanut Gallery, your energy goes without a doubt. Thank you so much for being here. I want to dive through a couple things. Kim, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Dana. I appreciate you. Big shout out to Liz. And Liz is such an epic veteran to the show. She was here back in the end. So thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much for being here. I want to give a big shout out to Gally. Thank you so much for being in the audience, my friend. Get checking us out. And also Sebastian from the William Paterson University. Bless you for coming through, my friend. Bong, bong, bong. There's an executive producer that lays incognito, my buddy Cheese. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your effort for being here. Yeah, respect. There's and I know Honorable Andre Sayegh, when you walk in, my executive director and the senior guy on our Steadicam, Lou Amano. Thank you so much for being here. Lou. Yeah, you know, he adds that different flavor. When you walk into the scene, you realize that this is not your average podcast. We're either overthinking it or we're way ahead of the game. And I prefer to go with the latter. As we do this tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Andre Sayegh. The current mayor of Paterson. Sitting across here at the table. Thank you for slicing this time up.
Thank you for having me, sir.
My sponsor, Heineken, would be so upset with me, especially when we have that refrigerator in the back so stacked. So could you do me a favor and reach back? Grab behind me. And we have the double zeros right up front because I know you're not a big beer guy.
At all.
At all. However, these are the double zeros from Heineken. I'm going to pop this open for you.
Thank you.
So we could have something to toast. I'm going to pass that back.
Thank you, Squirrel.
And why don't we just toast this?
You got it, Squirrel.
Thank you for being here. The Honorable Andre Sayegh.
Squirrel Rosenberg.
Epic.
Epic, indeed. That might be an understatement right now.
Can I ask you this? Can I ask you this? What's your thoughts when? Let's go back to the beginning.
Sure.
Actually, prior to you becoming the mayor,
Yes.
when you were running for mayor, we bumped into each other, and I was so
I think you
determined.
almost hit me with your car.
I actually did.
Why did you do that, Squirrel
I actually
Rosenberg? I don't know why I'm here
no,
now.
No, my executive producer, and I want to blame Cheese for this. My executive producer said,
Where's
Paul.
Cheese?
Yeah, said Paul. you
Cheese
ha-
is wearing that dolphin
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah. So
he's got a
Cheese-
lot of courage.
Yeah, so that's why he's my producer.
Thank you.
So Cheese said, prior to the election, you have to get to this guy.
Thanks, Cheese.
So he worked it out, got me some numbers. I got your number. I kept calling.
How'd you do that?
No, forget about it. Persistency pays off.
I know it.
And I kept calling, and your guy kept putting me off, and then I wheeled my way past him. I got to you, and you said, okay, I'm going to do it. But you're busy. I remember this specifically. You said,
Yes.
I'm busy out shaking hands or knocking on doors right now.
You know it.
And that's
kissing babies.
And kissing babies. So you're really... So anyway, that made an impression on me.
Thank you, Paul.
I was persistent, and I know there's a thin line between persistency and annoyance. And I was ready to ride that line. I was. However, you kind of played me to the left, and I saw you walking down the street one day with your paperwork. You were hustling, and I'm in traffic, and I was like, you know what? I got this Yukon. Let me hit the curb and just close off the sidewalk. And you were always rolling solo. What about security? You've never considered... You don't
I feel
need it.
safe in my city.
When you say something profound on this podcast, and considering that you're the mayor of Paterson, New Jersey, could you say that again, please?
Are you going to drop a jewel?
You just dropped
Okay,
it. Say
there
that
you go.
again.
I feel safe in my city.
I do too.
Thank you, Paul.
I do too. I do too.
That's our number one priority.
Establish safety back in the city.
Since July of 2018, we've taken 181 illegal guns off the streets.
Round of applause to that.
Thank you.
Round of applause to that. Those are lives being saved. Those are lives being saved.
And-
However, I don't want to get to
Sure.
those statistics
I thought
just
that
now.
was a jewel. I dropped.
No, you did drop a
Okay.
jewel about you feeling safe in your city,
Okay.
but I don't
that
want to
was
get
data right there. That
It
was like a
was.
fact.
to back up the jewel.
You're treating it like it was fake news.
Ooh, I like. This is going to be interesting. SQR Podcast, Bill Rosenberg. Okay. All right. So one thing about this podcast is we're designed to educate, entertain, and encourage. And it's through your story. Why did you want to become a mayor? All that I'm so curious about. So let's go back. Let's slow down here. The Honorable Andre Sayegh. Where were you born, and what was the family makeup like when you came into this world?
So I was born in Paterson, St. Joseph's Hospital, to be exact.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's where all my children were born as well. And my mother, immigrant from Syria. My father, immigrant from Lebanon. Unfortunately, my father was very mentally, physically abusive towards my mother, and he was gone. He was out of the picture. So my brother and I were raised by our mother, who was a bus driver, by the way.
Okay, so allow me to be a little bit granular. So
Yes.
so mom and dad.
I like that word, by the way.
You're welcome.
I
Mom,
think you dropped the jewel right there.
so this is me interviewing the mayor, but you notice the mayor's going to be interviewing me here. So let's just try to keep this on track. Mom and dad met not in the U.S.
Actually, they met here. My mother was visiting her brother who lived here, and then she went back to Syria, and my father followed her.
So your mom, like he was just so struck by this woman, huh?
Yes, sort of like when you were pursuing me on the campaign trail. But you are definitely not my type. Maybe that's why I kept walking.
However, I see persistence, it does pay off.
Persistence wears down resistance.
SQR
Get the
Podcast,
jewel
Go
going.
Rosenberg, jewels upon jewels.
Look out.
Nice. I
That's
like
right.
that.
Thank you.
I like that.
I did my homework.
I like that. So I'm trying. What I want to do is, so when mom came here to visit, your dad saw her, smitten, of course.
Love at first sight.
Did mom, but prior to the abusive, let's go back to when they just met. Did mom ever share any of those stories with you?
Not really.
Okay.
No. I saw pictures.
So she goes back to Syria. He follows.
Correct.
They get married in Syria.
Actually, they got married here because he convinced her to come to the United States or back to the United States, and then they got married.
And then you were born here,
Correct.
Paterson, New Jersey.
March 20th, 1974.
Wow.
Why, are you born March 20th, 1971?
No, I'm 71.
Okay.
I'm actually a little bit older than
Okay,
you, but
okay.
I said well because I appreciate how
When's your birthday?
November 21st actually.
Watch out, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's actually I'm a
Day
Scorpio.
before JFK's assassination.
I love how savvy you are with history. That's big. I'm a big history buff.
So
but
am
let's
I.
just keep this on track because I want to get into your story.
Let's do it.
Not his story. I want to hear your story.
Oh, how about her story?
That's coming up too. Brother.
Yes.
kids.
Yes.
You're-
Two sons.
You're
That's
the
right.
oldest.
I am. Very good.
Okay. A lot of
Did you do your homework?
I always do my homework.
Okay, that's
a lot
good.
of responsibility coming from that culture, especially the oldest son. Why do you think you were so driven?
My mother, there's no doubt. I graduated last in my high school class.
Last. Okay, let's slow. That's not
'Cause-
oxymoron. If you're driven, why are you graduating last?
Because it's ironic that you keep saying driven, because my mother was a bus driver. So that's what drove me to become focused. So she was the driving force in my life.
Beautiful metaphor.
Thanks.
Wow. Okay.
I just came up with that, by the way.
At what age? At what age? Because now, okay, so you're born, mom. You got a
Right.
brother. You guys are mom holding the household on. You guys are going
Correct.
to school
In Paterson.
in Paterson. Being an immigrant, or parents of an immigrant. What was your assimilation like? Which school did you go to, by the way?
So I actually went to Catholic schools. So I went to St. Brendan. Are you familiar? They're now closed, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've heard of St. Brendan.
That's what's happening. That's the fate of Catholic schools in the present day.
Well, we're gonna get into
When
that.
we were there, we had nuns. Now they have
Fathers.
none of nuns. Yes. You're right. And priests, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, you went to Catholic school, high school. Where was that?
DePaul. It's in Wayne.
Yes.
Are you familiar with that's still around?
Yes. My daughter went to PCTI, which is
Yes,
right
in
in
Wayne.
that same
That's right.
area. What was that assimilation like for you?
There weren't any issues at all.
So you were easy to make friends, navigate that
Yes,
water.
just wasn't focused. That was the problem in school.
Looking back,
I'd rather watch a Mets or Giants game.
oh, you were always into sports.
Totally.
Did you play?
Yes.
What-
But I'm not saying I was any good.
No, that's understandable.
That's right. That's why I probably pursued a career in politics,
But I want to navigate.
which is a contact sport, by the way.
oh shit.
It's true.
SQR Podcast.
It's not
Girls,
for the faint of heart.
Jules,
It's a blood sport.
Jules
You
and
ever see that
reality
with
being
Jean-Claude
dropped.
Van Damme?
Yes, I did see that. Yeah.
Dan probably plays that at
Yeah,
CKO.
yeah, he does. He does actually. No, that's very fascinating. I wanted.
Nook Sum Cow.
Yeah, I
Remember
want to find out why. The journey from because when
Right.
you said you were a sport, you didn't play. It was football that you played, correct?
that? Football, basketball, baseball. Those are the three.
Oh,
big
nice. You were-
three.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. How was the grades in school?
I graduated last in high school.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Because you were so distracted.
141 out of 141.
Oh, you owned it.
I did.
Can we toast to that?
Sure.
There's a little bit of confidence
I
there.
don't think I'm going to take another
Yeah.
swig.
No,
but
that's fine. That's
I'll
fine.
pretend I'm taking. Okay. Very
No,
good.
that's fine. 141 out of 141.
Last in my class and heading nowhere fast. Is that jewel worthy?
No, it is. Here's why. You're now the mayor of Paterson. And you started from the bottom.
Now we're here.
Eloquently
You like that one, sir. Thank you.
Eloquently,
Drake.
just that Drake line
Like
right there.
that. I prefer Meek Mill.
The
He like that.
Okay, all right. SQR
wasn't ready
Podcast.
for that one.
SQR Podcast. Go
He's like,
Rosenberg.
I'm a boss.
I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back after
That's
this,
right.
and then we're gonna jump
Let's do
into.
it, Paul.
I want to jump into the transition from high school, coming from 141 out of 141, and I like the way you own that. There's a little bit of confidence there, ladies and gentlemen. From the bottom, we started. Now we're here at the top, and he's here on SQR
like that, Paul.
Podcast. The
Paul's
honorable
good.
Andre Sayegh. One.
It's said that during the Revolutionary War, Washington paused at the Great Falls, and the seed was planted that would grow into a new nation. It's where Alexander Hamilton created America's first industrial city and fulfilled a vision of economic freedom for the country. Paterson was built on hard work and ingenuity, founded by an immigrant who is not gonna throw away his shot.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
Today, Paterson has 72 nationalities that serve as the city's strength, living proof that there is unity in diversity.
SQR Podcast, Score Rosenberg rocking in. My guest tonight, the Honorable Andre Sayegh.
Right.
And what's so funny is I asked the correct pronunciation of your name because people tend to massacre it. The correct
worse.
The correct pronunciation of your last name. Sayegh.
Say like you're going to the dentist.
Yeah. You know, we Jamaican, we disrespect a couple letters, and it's easy for me to say Sayegh. So
I've been to Jamaica. I loved it. I went on my honeymoon.
We're gonna get into that.
Ocho Rios. We went to Dunn's River Falls.
Did you walk the falls?
And they don't have problems in Jamaica. Only situations
that we fix. No bad vibes. No. SQR Podcast, Score Rosenberg. Yeah, I love the way you're taking, but I want to slow this down because we want to find out when you make
Red Stripe.
Because Heineken is what I drink.
There you go.
And Heineken just bought Red Stripe.
What? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's breaking news.
Yeah. No, it's Heineken. So Red Stripe is under the brand. However, this is not about. This is about you right now, the Honorable Andre Sayegh. So let's just slow this down real quick.
This.
Last in high school.
Yes.
Going nowhere fast.
Correct.
What happened after high school?
I went to community college.
Reluctantly?
Yes, that's actually true. Did you read my mind?
No, because if you're last, it meant you were comfortable at the bottom. And something had to kick you in the butt to get you to take that next step.
My mother. Tough lady.
What's her name?
Ramonda.
That's
right. So bear in mind, after World War I, the French occupied Syria and Lebanon. My mother's from Syria, my father's Lebanon. So her name is French, and Andre is a French name too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's where
Well, they were inculcated, right? Or indoctrinated
to
believe that everything French, they were Francophiles. So everything French was better.
Was better, correct.
So like Napoleon was put on a pedestal, even though essentially he was a man who massacred many people.
Yeah, he had a major problem. Besides being short. Yeah. But
he met his Waterloo. Jewel, please. Because that's an idiom as well. It's not just a fact.
He met his Waterloo.
That's right. Eli Manning met his Waterloo today.
I like the way you're stitching history into current.
Donald Trump will meet his Waterloo next year. Do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, no, I don't want to talk about that now. Oh my God, this has got to be the hardest podcast I've ever navigated in my life. But no, thank you. No, this is what you do, and this is what I do. Because I want to. Here's the deal, Andre. I have to take you through this journey because there's a young man who's actually last in his class right now, who's going to listen to this podcast and go, wow, now he's the mayor of Paterson?
That's true.
There's still hope for me. I'm curious to find out. So reluctantly, you went to community college.
I did.
I want to find out when the tipping point, what was it?
I knew you were gonna say that. And Malcolm Gladwell has got a new book out.
Yeah. I actually saw him on The View, which is I'm a very big fan of that show.
I like that.
Big shout out to Whoopi and all those girls. Bong, bong, bong. Back to you.
Sure.
What was the tipping? Looking back retrospectively.
You know how earlier I said I did my homework? I never did homework in high school. I promise you, I never did. First time I ever did homework was in college. But I saw my mother get up every day, 5 a.m, drive that bus. So I said, if she's going to apply herself, I'm going to apply myself as well. So she set quite an example. Thank you.
Yeah. Salute Ramonda. And what's so funny, parents don't understand the impact they're making on our kids. Because I'm pretty sure if she told you, hey, Andre, get up, go do this, go do that. But she also showed you.
You know, I always say that children may not listen to everything their parents say, but they see everything their parents do.
SQR Podcast, Score Rosenberg, another jewel.
Thank you.
Another.
Do you have a jewel meter? I mean, I'd like to see a scoreboard right now.
No. You see, here's the thing. What's going to happen is the person who's listening to this podcast is going to catch on to these anecdotes and realize that, hey, I can apply that to my life.
Thank you.
I can now emulate my mom a little bit more because she's putting in the effort.
I hope so.
How was all of this impacting your younger brother?
So he didn't graduate last, but he wasn't a stellar student. So we both actually went to community college, and we both went to Seton Hall University. And I graduated with the highest honors. I was summa cum laude. I was a 4.0 student. Yeah.
So here's what I want to know. So we're cruising through high school. We're cruising through community college.
No, I did well there. I had a 3.3, but then when I got to Seton Hall.
So we started doing homework.
Correct.
And we started developing good habits.
Correct.
You started getting
Discipline.
You start getting good grades, so the reward is now compounding. I want to be so microscopic with this light bulb moment, because there's a lot of kids our age, at that time now, looking for that. Like, they're like, what should it be? And what I've gotten so far is create the habits, be consistent with the habits. But for you, and this is, I just wanted if you could remember. If you can't say I don't remember.
Sure.
That moment where you said, hey, I'm going to apply myself. Or was it
I believe it was that moment when I realized my mother was doing everything for me and my brother, driving that bus. And it wasn't easy. English, second language.
Which is interesting, because when we get further in this podcast and we talk about the impact of immigrants and the way they're being treated right now in this world, it's interesting to hear your perspective.
Sure.
So let's fast forward to this. Out of community college into Seton Hall, what was your major?
History. Couldn't you figure that one out?
No, I didn't want to jump to I didn't want to assume.
That's good. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I want to find out. So you go into history and you're enjoying the whole Seton Hall experience.
Loved it. Proud pirate. I don't have my lapel pin on, though. I'm wearing Hinchliff Stadium.
We're going to get on that.
We're representing right there.
Yeah, I have a couple questions on Hinchliff that's coming up.
Come on, it's almost past my bedtime.
All right, so here we go. So now we're navigating through Seton Hall. Things are going great.
Yes, very well.
You're involved.
And I had a girlfriend, too. You started going well.
Well, you're a very good-looking guy.
I mean,
of course.
That's debatable, but... And she went to Rutgers.
So that's illegal.
I know.
Where did you
Rivals.
meet? Where did you meet?
Paterson. Where else are we going to meet? Actually, no, because she was from Passaic, so we probably met in Clifton.
You're right in the middle.
Halfway.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Never thought about that one.
Yeah. What's her name?
Her name was Anna. She's not in the picture.
Right now.
20
Okay,
years
right.
ago.
Okay, great. Because we don't. By the way, what's your wife's name?
Farhana.
Farhana.
You want to know what that means?
Please.
It means happy in Arabic.
Ooh.
But her name was Happy before she met me.
Okay. All right.
She might change her name.
Name right out to frustrated. Anyway.
Right.
So
if I don't get home soon.
I'm going to work on that. Because I don't want to skip this.
Thank you.
So boom, boom, boom. History, college, going great. Met the girlfriend. A lot of times when you meet a girlfriend in college, it adds a whole different dimension to the workload. How did you stay focused?
Well, it's interesting you should say that, because I was trying to put the finishing touches on a 4.0. She broke up with me a week leading up to finals. I was very upset.
How did you end up with finals?
Straight A's, because then I said I'm gonna get her back.
And the way to get her back is to succeed.
Yeah, that's right. One of those classes was chemistry, so I knew I had to work on something.
I like that. I like that.
Anatomy,
no, I like that. And what's so funny is a wise man once told me.
Was that a
if
jewel there?
No, that was being witty.
Okay.
And a wise man once told me, when you're witty, it's a sign of intelligence. Right now, you're shooting. You're on point.
Thank you, sir.
When did the political bone or connection happen?
Well, if you enjoy history, I believe it's almost inevitable, right? Because politics deals heavily in history. And I was inspired by John F. Kennedy. As a matter of fact, my son, who was born over a year ago, his middle name is Kennedy.
Because of that influence. Mm-hmm. Can we, as we get ready to close on the second segment, could we toast to the Honorable John F. K?
You got it, JFK. You were born a day before he was assassinated. Not the same year, though.
No, I know.
Okay.
Cheers. SQR Podcast, score Rosenberg.
71.
Yes. The Honorable Andre Sayegh. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and wrap up with the current Paterson of Mayor.
Let's do it.
Andre Sayegh. Stay tuned.
More than 150,000 people live, work, and play in our city's neighborhoods and parks. Nearly 30,000 children attend our schools. Children who represent Paterson's potential and serve as the foundation for One Paterson.
We all matter, we all count. Everyone is different in their own way. You may only be one person, but you can make a change.
I want to invite our president in here and say, Mr. Trump, this is the United States of America.
Bong. SQR Podcast
Like
for
that.
Rosenberg. Rocking in with the Honorable Andre Sayegh. And you're
One.
You're the only one. I like that. I like that. The only one.
Because number 2 is the first
First
place
loser. Yeah, exactly. We don't want to be number 2. The only one. SQR Podcast here. As I dissect. What's so funny behind the scenes as we, just catch up.
That's right.
Your sports knowledge is amazing. Your passion for music is amazing. Because we were talking about some of the hip hop. Your top 5 hip hop.
Do you want me to
Please
put that on the record
Yeah,
now?
let's just put it on the record.
So
your top 5.
Rakim.
Rakim.
Tupac,
Okay.
Jay-Z,
Okay.
Biggie, and I'm going to go with Eminem.
Solid. And what's so funny?
LL Cool J get honorable mention. How about that?
No, we'll take that. We'll take that because
He's
at the
the
end of the day,
GOAT.
it's your top 5. It's your
He's the
top 5.
greatest of all time.
No,
No, that was 5.
he actually did 6. So let's
He did 6.
let's just get back
I
on
could
this.
have said Heavy D as well, but I liked him.
But you will. So let's do this. So let's chop this up as we navigated
I liked
through
him.
as we navigated through where
Sure.
you are right now and graduating college, great grades.
Right. And then I went on to Columbia University. I earned my master's degree in public policy and administration. So government.
Which was initiated by your love of history.
Correct.
And inspired by John F. Kennedy.
JFK. And I got to tell you, it was reignited by President Obama.
Can we
It's the
toast to
first time.
can we toast to President Obama?
Of course, we miss him now more than ever. So, President Obama, Iowa caucus, right? 2008. First time in a long time listening to a speech, I actually got up and applauded. I couldn't even control my emotions at that point. And I voted for him 4 times legally. Ask me, Squirrel, how did it happen?
Yeah.
He ran in a primary against Hillary. I voted for him. McCain.
Yeah.
Then there was a primary in 2012. He was unopposed. And then he ran against Mitt Romney. So 4 times.
Okay, so before we get to that whole movement,
Yes, we can.
I want to find out, before you do, I want to find out your drive for politics,
Yeah.
the public servant. I hear mom in the background.
Sure.
I hear mom being the integral ingredient because as a bus driver, that's what she was,
That's correct. She's a public servant.
a public servant.
And she loved JFK.
You did well out of Seton Hall,
Correct.
moved into Columbia,
Right.
prestigious. How did you afford that?
Thank God for loans. And scholarships, because I did well. And I worked 3 jobs. People thought I was,
Half Jamaican.
yes, sir.
Bong. That's so. Yeah, we own that. We own that.
One.
Yeah, we own that. And we were talking about this off camera that there's every ethnicity gets a stereotype, and Jamaicans.
That's a positive one.
It's a positive one. Where did you work?
Burger King. I loved it. No, I'm loving it. That's McDonald's. Have it your way.
Yeah,
I worked at the Burger King in Clifton.
in the back grinding out.
Actually, don't you think I have a personality suited for the drive-thru?
You actually have a personality to do it for the front counter. Actually,
That's it. But I also worked all the stations. So there was a chicken sandwich station, Whopper station, and everything else station.
Considering how
That's true. You can look at any Burger King.
but considering how intelligent you were,
I don't
why
know
didn't
that.
Why didn't you work in a different environment? Why a Burger King? Why?
Customer service. If you're going to do politics right, particularly as a mayor and the way we're running our office, the most important aspect, constituent services. I just posted a video yesterday about recycling. In June, we distributed about 454 free recycling bins. July, 73% increase in recycling. I'm not quite sure if there's, you can 100% say there was a correlation.
It's just a no-brainer.
But yeah.
However, service.
So what my point is, since I posted, I got at least 40 text messages, or I'm sorry, on the thread, people were asking for recycling bins. I told them to text me. So 40 people texted me, and we got to half of them already with deliveries to their houses. So that was instilled in me with my experience at Roy Rogers, Burger King. I used to sell beepers. You remember those?
Yeah, I remember Beeper. You're aging yourself right now.
I was in East Orange, Irvington,
So you've
on
worked.
Easton Avenue,
Hit the
Springfield
streets.
Avenue in Irvington.
All right.
Yes, Easton Avenue in East
As,
Orange.
as we skip through your life, because everything I've heard is I was at one stage of my life not doing anything with my life.
That's right.
And pulled up your own bootstraps.
I like that term, by the way.
Yes.
Good job, Paul.
Through seeing mom grind and serve. The public service bone is instilled with you. You navigated college. By the way, why did you break up with your girlfriend? Do you remember?
I think the Yankees won the World Series, and she was a Yankees fan. And
oh, that makes sense. That's a no-brainer.
Yes,
that's a no-brainer.
Right.
So
and
you
the Mets
moved on.
And won a World Series since 1986.
So
I was 12.
So you moved on from her. Where and when did you meet your wife?
So I met my wife March 13th, 2005. And where else would I meet her?
Paterson, New Jersey.
No, a political event.
I like that.
Like
that was
I
good.
got you going.
That was good. You had me there.
Thank you. You had me at hello.
Yeah, she was at a political
And I told
event.
her, you complete me. Did you like that?
That's a typical line. She fell for that?
No.
I
never
didn't
said
think
that.
so.
No, she didn't even see Jerry Maguire, so I got away with it.
Nice.
She said, show me the money. No, I'm kidding.
So she was at this event. You saw her.
Yes.
Smitten immediately.
Well, I would admit that I was taken aback. I was in awe.
When you approached her, what did she say? Do you remember?
It was more like there was somebody in between us, and I wanted that person to just leave.
You should have pulled a biggie and smushed him out the way.
I thought about doing that, actually.
So you stepped to her. What did she say? What was the response from her?
Well, actually, we engaged in a conversation, and I'm 8 years older than her. She's a millennial. And so I was testing her because about 20 minutes into the conversation, I told her I had to leave. So in my mind, I'm saying if she wants me to stay, and she's interested, if she's interested, she's going to ask me to stay. And she asked me to stay. And then I did it again 20 minutes later, and she asked me to stay. But then an hour later, I had to leave. But then I gave her my card, said, if you'd like to continue this conversation, give me a call. She called me the next day. I ghosted her.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
I did. This is a true story. You could bring her on if you want.
You ghosted her.
I did.
Why?
Testing her. And then I called her 2 days later.
What was her response then? What the?
Yeah, you're playing games.
What stage of your political journey was this?
I was already elected, believe it or not, Board of Education. I was elected in 2004. So I held office.
Wow.
And then she's been with me ever since. School board 2 terms, city council 3 terms, and now mayor 1st term.
And you have 2 little kids.
3. But that's it. I'm taking the census very seriously. You have to get a complete and accurate count. So since 2010, I've had 3. Okay. So I have Sophia Shea. Her middle name is for Shea Stadium. I'm a Mets fan. I think we made that abundantly clear.
Yeah, you did.
And then the middle daughter is Kayla Grace. We just like the sound of that.
That's a beautiful name,
and
actually.
Then Aiden Kennedy. He was born August 2nd. If he was born August 4th, we may have thrown in Barack, because Barack in Arabic means blessed, and August 4th is President Obama's birthday.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
But he wanted to arrive a little early.
Yeah. Well, I like that. And thank you so much for being so vulnerable on everything that we've discussed.
Sure.
Your wins, your losses, navigating. I mean, even meeting your wife and your kids, and that whole entire journey. And I want to jump into. I kind of want to change gears a little bit here. Because knowing that you were going to be a guest on the show, we did some polling.
You did?
So we went into the city of Paterson.
Oh, no.
And, we brought our cameras, but everybody was like, no, I don't want to be on camera, but let me hear your question anyway. And there were some questions that were asked. And there's a couple questions here that I wanted to run by you real quickly. And we're going to make this short, okay, so we don't really overdo this. One of the questions we had was, there's been some controversy regarding the tax credit project in July 1st. It goes without saying that you can't make everybody happy, all right? And not every project is going to be chosen.
Sure.
How do you plan to navigate that?
All right, so we have selected all the projects. The signature project is a first-class visitor center at the Great Falls.
Okay.
And it's going to be named for the founder of the city of Paterson. You have his poster up there.
Alexander Hamilton.
You know it. So Alexander Hamilton Visitor and Education Center at the Great Falls. It's about a $30 million project. And the leading real estate developer in the state is going to be at the helm. It's Devco. His name is Chris Palladino.
Nice.
He was in New Brunswick. He went to Atlantic City, and he's done work in Newark. He's been sniffing around Paterson for a long time, and according to him, he was just waiting for a mayor that he could work with. He needed some stability in government.
Beautiful.
Oh, I like
beautiful,
that.
Beautiful.
That was good. Was that a jewel too?
No, it was very precise and concise.
Right.
And I didn't
Thanks.
want the fluff. I just wanted to get to the point
That's
on
the
this.
truth.
And that's really
And
what I wanted.
Hinchliff Stadium, we're going to resurrect that stadium. Look, I'm wearing it.
Yes, that's one of the questions.
It's one of 2 existing stadiums where they played Negro League games. That's it.
Not only that, however,
tell me.
the capacity of that stadium is
7,500.
clutch. The location,
Right by the falls.
Right by
it's
the-
the only stadium inside of a national park.
So here's my question to you.
Go ahead.
Paterson is such an immigrant-dominant town.
You know it.
Soccer is...
What's that? I'm being facetious. I'm sorry.
No. What's your game plan with that stadium?
Yeah. So the game plan, soccer, football, baseball, maybe even some cricket.
From the
Cricket
Hindi-
is the second most popular sport in the world, right?
It is.
They love it in Jamaica.
Yeah, big. And
I've been to Trinidad. They love it there too.
you have a strong Hindu community within that area, and that's all they play is cricket.
Well, they're Bengali. They're actually Muslim.
Yes.
Yes.
So
There's a few Hindu though.
yeah. Okay, cool. Next question.
Yes, sir.
What's your stance on the marijuana industry and its possible impact on our local industry here?
Okay. So, Paterson secured one of the licenses for medical marijuana. So we have a company called Green Thumb Industries. Now, as far as legalization is concerned, I do support it.
Okay. Can we toast to that?
Sure.
Can we toast to that?
And you're not going to believe this,
Come on.
but I've never had marijuana. I'm not going to pull a Bill Clinton where I didn't say I didn't inhale or anything like that, but never did. But create jobs. It's also a matter of social justice. And we need the revenue. We have cash-strapped coffers in Paterson.
And
Cheese
that-
nose.
So that's one of the things that leads to the next
Sure.
question. The former administration, the rampant nepotism, the
Yes. Patronage peddling.
beautiful.
I have an affinity for alliteration.
I love that.
Thank you.
The
Jewel.
the muck, for the lack of a better term, that was left for you to come and sort out.
We inherited a $54 million structural deficit. But we also inherited opportunities. The tax credit program. That was almost squandered completely. Our legislative delegation salvaged it, and we're going to make the most of it.
Okay.
You know what I say, Paul? In the past, Paterson has never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
SQR Podcast called Rosenberg. What a
Uh-oh.
jewel!
Whoa.
I'm gonna have to slice up this next 3 questions.
Dan liked that one. I heard him.
I'm gonna take
I
a
thought
quick
he
break.
disappeared.
Take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We got
Okay.
3 more questions, and then
Come
I'm
on,
gonna
Dan.
close. And then I'm gonna close.
My wife's
with-
going to read me a bedtime story.
No, what-
Come on.
What's so funny is we're gonna close with you just letting Paterson know what your game plan is.
Sure.
And your personal plan for you and your family. SQR Podcast, Paul Rosenberg, the Honorable Andre Sayegh. Stay tuned. Quick break. 1.
I believe we can empower our community to have faith in each other, to feel safe and cared for, to advocate for one another. Yeah. Then, together, we can boldly search for solutions to our challenges. As I often say, Paterson is where Hamilton set the stage. Now it's our time to write a new narrative in city government and create that more perfect union here in Paterson.
So I have AT playing this giant, anthem coming in. And you're a big...
I am a big Giants fan. I am a giant Giants fan. You can call me Andre the Giant. Fan.
What's going on with the team this season?
Unfortunately, Eli Manning has been benched, so an era has come to an end.
Yes.
But it really wasn't his fault. The defense. Try being a Jets fan, though. Oof. You're asking for it. Sorry. Oh, okay. I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, so you know what? I just gave you that
Sorry.
little sports innuendo because I know you were dropping a lot
Thank you,
of
sir.
points on that. However, let's go back to this because the wife's calling.
Oh, my God.
You got a busy
It's
day
true. I gotta
tomorrow.
get milk.
And you've been hanging out with us for a little bit, and I want to make sure I get
And
to
diapers.
the last 3 questions.
Sure.
Okay? And then 2 points. With the new FEMA Flood Map, What impact will it have on the residents of Paterson?
How did you know about that? That was pretty profound.
I do my research.
Well, a few years back, I had hundreds of constituents complain that they were paying thousands of dollars for flood insurance they didn't need. So I went to the congressman, Bill Pascrell, and he contacted FEMA, and it took about a year or so, but they revised the flood maps. And now those hundreds of constituents save thousands of dollars. That sounds like a Geico commercial, but it's true.
No, no, that's massive because,
It is. I said it last night. I emceed the congressman's event at the Venetian, and I made note of that, of all he's done for us. He was instrumental in getting the Great Falls recognized as a national park.
Oh, and that was major.
He and the late and lamented Senator Frank R. Lautenberg.
Yeah, okay.
Patersonian.
It's so refreshing hearing the passion that you're coming to the table with, and seeing that you're not, because in our today's climate, and that's the next question and the last question out of the 5.
Sure. I thought you had 3 more. I was ready.
Okay, good. Here's the second one.
Oh.
Considering today's political climate,
Yes.
we're talking about, for the lack of a better term, the guy in the White House right now.
Oh, God. They call him the Cheeto.
And this tension, and what's your thoughts on what's going on in our political
Very
landscape?
toxic. Locally, I'm so glad that we scored a victory. The census is everything for me. I mentioned it earlier.
Yes.
And I half-jokingly said that I was contributing to the population
Yeah,
count.
by having the babies.
He was adamant about having that citizenship question on the form.
Yes, he was.
Thank God there were 5 Supreme Court justices that were enlightened enough to say, that's a no-go. So that helps us because we have such a large immigrant population.
Here we go.
And it goes beyond Latinos. You have Jamaicans coming in as well, and Bengali. You have Syrian refugees that are in Paterson. There's a considerable number. So they would be reluctant too because they're not citizens, but they count.
Yeah.
Everyone counts. Look, Paterson counts.
Paterson counts.
Census 2020.
Hashtag.
There's so much at stake. You were talking about filling a pothole every time I think my phone goes off.
Yeah.
If you get an accurate count, you have to accommodate that population, and there's money in transportation for road resurfacing. There's also money to reduce classroom sizes. My daughter goes to a school in Paterson, and her classroom is about 30 students. It's a little too much. And then we lost political representation 10 years ago. We lost a congressional seat, and Congressman Pascrell had to run against a fellow Democrat, his friend, and he won. See what's at stake with the census? Got to take it seriously.
Here's my final question.
Sure.
What's your goal, your plan for Andre?
Well, it's not so much for me because a rising tide lifts all boats. So if I'm doing well, I got to make sure the whole city is doing well. So that's why I got to go into the office every day, upbeat, optimistic, and enthusiastic about the direction the city is heading in. So parks are a priority. Parks, it's been proven. Look at Central Park in New York. The property values are they're the highest
around that
near a park. Eastside Park is the equivalent of, it's our equivalent of Central Park. So we've applied for funding from the county, and we got it. So we're going to start making improvements in that park. MLK Park, I don't know if you just saw that on Auburn Street.
Yes, I did.
We have an 8-foot statue for Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. because he preached at that church across the street a week before he was assassinated.
Wow.
Buckley Field, did you see that? Multi-purpose field.
Yes, I did see that.
Chamberlain Ave.
Yes.
$1 million. Hinchcliffe. So I want to make parks a priority. Steven Spielberg just wrapped up West Side Story in Paterson. He gave us a $30,000 contribution to go to our parks. And we featured our fire department on A&E's live rescue program.
Yes, yes.
And a vast majority of the revenue has been earmarked for the parks. So we have a plan.
At the end of the day, it's refreshing because you're so accessible.
Thanks.
And as I get ready to wrap this podcast, I want to take this moment to apologize to your secretary,
Audrey. She's tough.
Yeah, but I went in there waving. I was like taking no for an answer.
I think she told me.
Yes, I made an impression.
That's
on
why
Audrey.
I had to be here.
Yeah, so
I actually walked here from my house.
Audrey, thank you so much.
I love you, Audrey.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
She's the gatekeeper.
thank you for being so authentic. As we get ready to close,
Sure.
There's
All good things must come to an end.
There's 2 questions I ask my guest.
Okay.
I have a magic wand.
Right.
I give it to you. You only have 2 wishes.
Sure.
Your first wish.
End homelessness in Paterson.
And the reason why I'm applauding that, because one of my questions that I didn't get to ask you is what's going on with the homelessness in Madison?
Yeah. So I participated in the Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative. They selected 40 mayors from around the world. So we had the mayor of Seattle, we had the mayor of San Antonio, Miami, we had mayors from Indonesia, from Africa, all over the country. And I was one of them, Paterson. And what they emphasized was data and evidence, because that's what Bloomberg did when he was mayor for 12 years. And a private foundation stepped up and said, Mayor, how are you going to implement what you learned in this Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative? I said, I don't have money to do it. They gave us about $1 million, and they funded 2 positions in my administration, Chief Innovation Officer and Chief Data Officer, to get us into the 21st century. And the Chief Innovation Officer's first charge, homelessness. We applied for and now we have a grant writer. Paterson never had a grant writer. So we just got a grant, $600,000 for an opioid rapid response. And the Attorney General is going to give us $150 on top of that, 1,000 for
Because
opioid.
that's also rampant.
Of course.
Yeah, the drug, the
There's
addicts.
the correlation.
Yeah, the homeless. Your second.
So we're going to make every effort.
Okay. Your second wish.
My second wish is to put Paterson back on the map. We're the first planned industrial city. At some point we fell off, but we're looking to write a success story. And every time I grab the governor, I said, you're going to be a co-author for that success story. We're looking for those co-authors. Thank you.
SQR Podcast, Cole Rosenberg.
This is too much fun for
The
one night.
Honorable Andre Sayegh, finally at the table.
That's right.
Dissected and vulnerable. Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor.
No,
SQR
thank
Podcast.
you.
It's a pleasure. One.
He snapped it. One Paterson, one love.
Yes, yes.
Let's
yes,
get
yes,
together
yes.
and feel all right.
Come
I like that. I like that. I like this.
Welcome.
Talk about swagger.
Good. So, welcome to the home of SQR Podcast, sir.
I like this.
Thank you.
Impressed.
Thank you.
Whoa, what is this? OMG. Hey everyone.
Mayor, Andre Sayegh, use yourself. Nice.
Oh, it's really cool. You know me? You look like somebody I know. Sebastian. Yes. How are you, Louis? Louis, I'm Andre. Nice to meet you.
Don't even say nothing. I ain't
Don't say that. I can't say
Well, don't say nothing.
Oh my God.
Good to see you, man.
I feel badly for you.
How are you? Nice to
Good
have you.
Good seeing you.
Yes.
Impressive.
No more, okay? No more jokes. No more jokes. All right, let it go.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Andre, nice to meet you.
My name is Charles.
Oh, I'm happy. Oh, yeah. Nice to meet you. Look at this. Good Lord. We got a chef. Hi. I'm Andre.
Like this.
Look at that. We're rubbing elbows. Literally.
I just do that as well, sir.
It's remarkable. They like Heineken in here, huh?
Careful when we have the 0-0s. This is the studio of SQR Podcast.
Oh my God.
What we do here, we can rent the studio to do other stuff. However, we use a podcast out of here. And it's a sponsor. They came up big time. So why is this? This is not your typical podcast. We're either overthinking it or way ahead of the game. And I know we're way ahead of the game. So just to give you a quick heads up, not only are we doing the podcast here, but we have a screen printing. We're right now. Go take a walk with me. I've never seen anything like this here. Oh wow, nice.
I'm awestruck.
We spend a little time making sure, one of my buddies, came up with a phone generator and said, yeah, let's, get the cameras instead of guns in the hands of these kids. You know, we are willing to start training and working with kids out of here to get them, you know, aware of what's going on. So like right now, we're going to be doing a shirt while your podcast is going on that you're going to be leaving here, right? Screen printing here, right at the same moment. You have the editing.
Hi, I'm Andre.
That's Julio here.
Hi, Julio. Nice to meet you.
Don't have to talk.
Regular one.
This is my wife Kelly.
Hi.
Happiness for Food on Instagram, and this is her angle. So she brings all of this to the podcast. What were you saying, guys?
I was gonna say, enjoy.
Yummy. It looks like you're weird because I know kind of when you walk in.
Yeah, you're right.
So just relax. Catch your breath. Get everything organized. We'll do a mic check. We'll do a quick walkthrough and then podcast. I have a couple questions. I'm going to have you sit down. I want you to review the questions. Yes, sir. You get there. I don't know what to ask. That way you're prepared. Because my job is to hear your real story. All right. Wow. Remarkable. Thank you.
Welcome to the place when you want a good time. Just for fun and the place when joke on your mind. And just for fun and we don't want to see it done. Just for fun, nothing to drop down. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.